What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, let's get it. Let's go to Gulfstream Park. Let's go to the Florida Derby. That's coming up this weekend, the Florida Derby down at Gulfstream Park. I'll put it up on the screen now for you. It's going to be a good one. Field of 10 here, going a mile and an eighth for $1 million. It's going to be race 14, the last race on the card down at Hallandale Beach in Florida, Gulfstream Park. All right, well, we're going to go through them 1 through 10 here. Some of them we can go through fairly quickly. Some of them we'll have to take a little bit of time on. Neoquist will start us off from the rail here, and I thought he ran very well. The Florida bred tried open company last time out in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. Ran third, getting beat by 2 3/4. The problem I have is I just don't know how he turns the corner or turns the tables is probably a better way to say it on a horse like Sovereignty. He passed him pretty easily. Now, can Neoquist from the rail get the lead, try to take him gate to wire? Maybe he sneaks away from a few of them here. If Disruptor, the other speed horse, I'm kind of thinking doesn't run, his race, or Madaket Road has trouble. Could Neoquist get on the lead and take him gate to wire? It's possible. I like the rail draw for this horse. Sometimes you don't like rail draws. For this one, I kind of like it. I just don't think it's likely he's going to get that easy lead. It's probably going to be the opposite. I see a lot of speed in here, so couldn't support him here. I do like him. I think he's a cool horse. He kind of had the unfortunate, happening of running into Rated by Merit in Florida bred races where usually most years Neoquist would have won those races, right? And then, Rated by Merit injured, so he was able to win last time out, or 2 races back against Florida breds. But, last time ran well, just couldn't get the job done. But I do like him, but I just couldn't support him in this spot. Number 2, Cool Intentions will be next. This horse is coming off of a 5th place effort, beaten 8 1/4, but that was all the way back on January 4th in the Mucho Macho Man. We haven't seen him since. That race came back to be a freaking disaster. Not good at all. Horse does have 2 wins and 4 starts, but can't support anybody out of that race. I kind of just said no to him. The number 3 is Smokin' Boy. Smokin' Boy last time out was in an allowance where he was facing Grande. He got beat 13 lengths in that one. 2 races back, he went and faced John Hancock and Owen Almighty Poster in the Sam F. Davis, and he was 8th, beating 19 here. Total toss, just not for me at all. The number 4, Disruptor, he could be for me. He debuted on Pegasus World Cup Day and with a ton of hype, and everybody was on Disruptor. Everybody loved this horse. Everybody said he was really, really good. He wasn't all that good in that race. He came back to run very well last time out, though, trying a maiden special weight again on March 1st there at Gulfstream Park. That was on Fountain of Youth Day. He lived up to the hype, and most people stuck with him one more time. He was 3 to 5 that day. So we'll see what happens here with Disruptor. If he can kind of run back to that race, stretches out in distance, which he should. He's by Gunrunner out of Spitestown Mare. Spitestown Mare is a little scary, but I think I'm going to be okay with Gunrunner on the top. I think he's got a shot. So one you definitely got to look at here for Pletcher. He's kind of scrambling, trying to get horses in. Maybe Disruptor can get in. We'll see what happens with him. The number 5 is Indecisiveness, and this is a horse that I'm not indecisive on. Don't like him very well. 3 races since breaking the maiden on debut, and really not close to winning any of them. They were weaker company than what he's going to face today. Easy throw out for me. The number 6 is Jimmy's Dailies. This is a horse that did beat Disruptor 2 races back when breaking his maiden in his 3rd career start. Last time out, tried allowance company, and I didn't think ran too poorly. Got beat 2.5 by Grande. Grande is a Todd Pletcher horse that's probably going to go to the Wood now that he's, I would guess the Wood now that he's not entered here. I think you should take a shot with horses like Jimmy's Dailies. He's not for me, but I think they should be in the race. I think he's kind of done enough to get in. He's better than a lot of them we've talked about so far. So we'll see what happens with him. But again, not for me. I just couldn't get the job done here. Or I couldn't go all the way with him, I guess I should say, at all. So let's keep going here. Another complete toss of 7. Enter the Dragon, just not for me. A lot of turf form here, and really not really winning much on the turf. Dirt hasn't looked great. Only 1 start over the dirt. It was 5th, beaten 7th. So again, not for me here. I promise I like the last 3, so we haven't talked about many that I like. But the number 8, Madaket Road, very interesting horse here. A horse that they never put on the lead in 3 career starts, and he'd hit the board in all 3. He didn't really run well at all in the Robert B. Lewis, but his maiden win was decent. His Bob Hope, he was beaten pretty easily, but he debuted in a stakes race. So So whatever. This is a horse that's shipped over to run at Churchill Downs. Well, he never did ship, but they entered, and then he was on the also eligible, so they didn't ship him, and they scratched him. But all that leading up to a Rebel Stakes where I picked him to win. And I picked him to win because I said the pace is going to be hot, and I think he's going to be sitting third or fourth where he always sits. And I think he gets first run in the leaders, and I think he's going to be really tough. He was on the lead. He ran a 45.35 at the half on the lead by 2 lengths. So part of me is like, I can't believe he has this dimension. And the other part of me is like, you're setting the pace. And I thought you were the one coming from off of it. So this shows how frustrating horse racing can be. But to carry on here, he was second, beating a length and a quarter that day. He did not hold on to win. Cole Battle was able to pass him, and he passed him pretty easy. But that was a good dimension to kind of show that this horse has early kick if you ask him to do it. I just think you got to sit him mid-pack in this spot. I don't want him on the lead. I want him maybe not mid-pack, but third or fourth. We'll see. I just don't want 45 to the half again. It's interesting, though. 5th race for this horse, 5th different jockey. So that kind of tells you he's got quality. He gets a good jockey pretty much every time. He gets Gaffleone today. That's not bad, but that's good even. Like Gaffleone's a good rider, but it just kind of shows you he's kind of the other Baffert who's just kind of, he's decent. He's around. He's probably not one of his better ones. I thought about picking him in the spot. I just couldn't do it because he just, if he would have won the Rebel, let's say, then you're like, I don't know, maybe he is kind of, turning into a really good horse. And I do think he's got ability, talent, he projects to be okay, but I couldn't get there. I think he's going to hit the board, but that's kind of where it ended for me. The number 9 is Tappan Street, a horse that ran well on debut, got the job done right here at Gulfstream Park, and then went to the Holy Bull next. So he ran second, beating a length and 3/4. So the good news is, should move forward off that effort, and it was a very good effort for the first time in the stakes. But 2 pieces of bad news. Burnham Square was beat him that day. He did not come back to run well at all in the Fountain of Youth. And look, Tappan Street had the trip to win the Holy Bull, just couldn't quite get it done. Like I said, will improve. And then Brad Cox horses have just not been great on this trail. And I think it's just because he doesn't have that real good one this year. And I don't think Tappan Street's going to be that horse either. I think I view him and Maddocket Road similar. Can hit the board. I just don't know that the upside's there to get the job done. All right, then finally the last one and the best one, number 10 Sovereignty here. Tough to go against him. I think the pace sets up really well. I think the stretch out in distance is what this horse really needs. He won at 1 mile and 16th last time out right here at Gulfstream Park in the Fountain of Youth. And he beat River Thames, who turned for home and looked like he was going to win pretty easily. And he went and got him. I think he's going to run better here. I think he's going to keep improving. If I'm right about the pace looking like it's going to be pretty hot, that should help him as well. I think the only worry is he doesn't have any early speed, and will he get too far behind? Will he get in traffic trouble, stuff like that? I mean, that could happen. I think you always worry about that when you bet horses like this, but I think the task is pretty easy as far as, or the instructions, I should say, are pretty easy as far as the rider. Just keep him out of trouble, and he'll go get them if they're coming back to him any at all. So I like Sovereignty an awful lot here. I like him a lot for the Derby as well. I don't love betting horses with this running style, but when they're the best horses in the race, I still think you got to do it. So, all right, I went number 10 Sovereignty on top of this. As you could probably tell as I was talking about him, I'm pretty darn high on him. It's a horse that I've been high on for a long time. When he debuted on Travers Day to maiden special weight, I said, boy, when this horse stretches out, he's going to be really good. And he has been. He's 2 for 2 when running in 2-turn races. And those were 2 consecutive prep races, the Street Sense and, of course, the Fountain of Youth. So I think he just keeps on winning. I think he gets the job done here. I like Sovereignty to win this year's version of the Florida Derby. All right, guys, that'll do it for a preview of the Florida Derby. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you are playing Gulfstream Park this weekend.